of 100, 200, 300, so you can perfectly ask them, and they are really available because every time there's some kind of object or some kind of product about it, they want it. Mm-hmm. So great work.
Thank you.
Where is it? Okay, hello. My name is Darek Growiński, and with Cyril we've created Crypto Clan, which is a social media for cryptocurrency traders. This was an idea of Cyril, who is a trader. Maybe he can tell us something about it.
So yeah, I used to be a sales trader in London, and I've fallen into cryptocurrency a few years back at the beginning when it started to be, it wasn't popular at the start, and now it started to be much more popular. So on the net you've got a lot of exchanges, but there is no really, actually I haven't found one, this might be one, but I haven't found a social media for cryptocurrencies, so I thought it might be a good idea to make a project around that. So it actually, as we were going to see, it takes the API from different exchange, and it downloads your portfolio, and from your portfolio you can see different things. And yeah, we'll show more about it later.
Okay, so just a quick list of the functionality. So we've got, of course, the logins. We can, when the user signs up, he can specify which coins he's interested in. He can follow these coins and then have quick access to the market data about the coins. But I think the main functionality is the aggregate portfolio that you can create on the site from by loading your portfolios from currency exchanges, and also defining the portfolio of currency you own, like on your computer or something. So we're using three separate APIs, and we need to combine the data that they provide. And that's the social part, which is searching for users by name, by city, or by the interest they share in some coins with you. We can follow them. We can search them on the map. The portfolios that you load on the site, you can make it public, so others can see it and maybe comment on it. And there's some kind of like Twitter features of following the people and what they post, like to their followers group. And it's all responsive. So that's what it does. How it does it, we have 5 models. We have 2 background scripts for APIs. Altogether we've used 27 NPM modules, and what you can see on the front end. Okay, so I think it's time to make the presentation.
Okay, go for it. So we'll go to cryptoclan.tk. Maybe you want to change to. So as you see, this is the landing page. You can log in on the right. So you've got different options on login. Oh, it went too fast. Maybe you want to show when you log in with your own email, because you get a notification on your email. Maybe you want to show that, or we not? Okay, so here's. Okay. Anyway. So. So as you can see on the dashboard, it looks a lot like LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook. You've got your coins on the left, so that's the coins you've uploaded in your API, as we were going to show before. If you click on the coin, the API is going to get the price. Actually, this is on the back end, so when you click, it goes to the back end, it's already uploaded. And it uploads every 30 seconds, I believe. It changes every 30 seconds, the price update. So you can add a coin on the list of coins. So there is more than 700 coins, so if you can search for a coin as well and it will show up. So on the right you have the people you follow. If you click on them, it will redirect you to the profile page. So here is the profile of the person. You can send him an email directly. That will send me an email that will appear on my dashboard. So if I send something to Derek, I already sent him before, but as you can see, maybe we want to see it live. So if I send something to him, it will appear there. So he can reply to me and send me something back, and it will show to me again. So maybe you want to, and if you click on the icon of the person, that you'll get back to the, so maybe you want to go to the setting page. So here is the setting, is where you can put all your information, you can put your name, your email. Some stuff will be uploaded directly if you use LinkedIn or Facebook. It will upload some information directly. This is the user's key. Obviously, the users need to give you the API key, which can be a problem, because if it's an API key that makes you able to trade, that could be an issue. So obviously, the user has to make sure that on his part, when he makes the API key on the exchange, he only gives you read information and not trade in API keys option as well. So what else do we have? We have, you can follow people, maybe the portfolio after, or up to you. So that's the portfolio, that's Derek's portfolio, for example. For now, its portfolio is not public. I can make my portfolio public, maybe you can see my portfolio. Before, when we go to the profile page, you did not see the button for the portfolio. Now you should be able to see it. So as you can see now, the button has appeared, and you can see my portfolio of all the coins I own, with the different exchange, with the wallet, and then you've got a breakdown of every coin with a chart of the price. So that's a big feature of the project. So that's his portfolio. So you can add coins manually, remove them, edit them. And obviously, the one who come from the API, you can't remove them unless in the exchange you close the position or you take out his coin from the exchange. So maybe you want to show So here you can follow people. So you can search them by name, by coin, or people who's got the same coin than you. So as you can see, you've got the choice. You can then see the profile directly or follow them. So if you follow them, you can see the profile. If the profile is public, you'll be able to see the profile. You can send them an email. And if you follow them, then everything they post on their wall will show up on your wall. What else? We have the map as well. So if you're looking for someone at a special place, you can look by coins or you can look by people. So if you do Bitcoins, you've got all the person who own Bitcoins on the map. So if you click on one of them, for example, Stephanie, which we will find it funny because she is somewhere Well, you'll see his profile, and you see the portfolio. You can send him a message. And what else do we have? I think this is about it. Have we forgot something, Derek?
I think that's it.
So that is it.
Some lessons learned. And first of all, I didn't know about async library, and it's very cool. It allows controlling the flow of your code when you have many async calls. Like this came very useful, very handy with the APIs and the scripts that combine the data from the APIs. Also, Mongoose object is a very strange object. You have to be careful because when you try to modify it, what comes back from the database. Some of the fields are non-writable. There are some getters, setters, whatever. RoboMongo is a great tool. It was very, very helpful. And also, I've wasted some time on some very shady NPM modules. So be careful about that.
If you have investment in Bitcoins, congratulations, because 4 hours ago, Telefonica was hacked, and the hackers were asking for Bitcoins, so probably Bitcoin is going to rise up a little. Also, I think Welling or some other airline, so it's interesting. It's really great because it's a quite complete project. It's a project that not only has interactions with users, but also interactions with something that happens somewhere else. That is in this case in the market of the crypto coins. And integrating with APIs is kind of a mess, usually, because APIs changes, APIs have really bad documentation sometimes. You have to authenticate, and then the tokens expires, and that's quite a mess. So that's not a mess, but they require a lot of maintenance. So I will ask, because that's actually a really complete project, how would you extend it? Because as a social network, there are not too many social networks about crypto coins, but there are many applications about crypto coins. How would you change or move further your application so it fits better with the environment of cryptocurrencies?
So our initial idea was but we didn't have time to implement it, to rate the users on the performance on their portfolios, so that we could organically come up with the experts in the fields, and yeah, so that would be one feature.
I think an important thing as well is to extend the APIs. So for now we only have 2 APIs, but there is many exchange out there, and we've used the most used cryptocurrency exchange out there, which is Polymex and Bitrex. But obviously there's many of them, and I think that would be good to have more of them, since some people only use one exchange, and there might be an exchange that we don't provide right now. Another one that is very used and we don't use is Bitstamp, for example, Kraken. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, so I think that would be something interesting. Maybe something interesting will be as well to link the website directly to your wallet, which you own in your computer. That would upload the information you have and the coins you have. That could be a good feature as well. And then there's lots of little things that could make it more easy for users. For example, a live chat box, stuff like this. I think there is room for improvement for sure.
I will feel really interesting is if people gives you this information and they accept to be public data, and that's a social network, and you know the behavior of the market because you know the pricing of these cryptocurrencies, you actually can check who is the expert and who's not. Because when the people invest, after the investment, then the currency moves up. So, and you know this information that they want to be public. So you could, as the last project, objectively rate the users as if they are experts or not. And that will be an interesting point of social network, because naturally, social networks users are rated on basis of the relation with other users, not in basis of some weird thing that is outside and is not related with the users. So it's, well, it's strange to mix a social network with a financial market. So well done, congratulations.
Well, hi everyone. I am Héctor Fernández Ardura, and my partner Sergi. We create the website of Mountain and Comedy, a mountain group. I am musician from Asturias. I work in mine coal. I don't work in the area of the technology. And Sergi?
I have studied engineering of telecommunications, and I work in vision computer. So, what kind of project did we choose? We chose a web page, which is it's related to a group that Hector has in Asturias. And this is about doing roads in the mountain, for example. So why did we choose it? Because, well, we think that it had a lot of kind of interesting things, like, for example, doing an internet for all the groups, all the members of the Hector's friends, and also because with all the stuff that we had to implement it, we thought that the backend would be a challenge. Okay. Also, being a social network gives us actually a good opportunity to practice with the crowd in order to do the creation, the request, etc. The technologies that we have used, well, and these are the technologies: Node.js, Express, Mongoose, jQuery, Ajax, and also we use the APIs of Google Maps in the front end, communicating with Ajax, and Google Calendars in order to show to the users of the community when a route is going to take place. Okay, all the technical problems that we had. Well, we created a lot of models. I think that maybe too much models, but in the beginning we thought that they were necessary. Also, the implementation and the communication with the Google APIs. Well, the communication with the Google Maps wasn't so difficult, but with Google Calendar, it takes a little bit more of effort. It wasn't so difficult communicating with the application in our local host, but when we deployed it in Heroku, we had some problems. Also, the functionality of deleting the users, the messages that the user shares, and the routes. Well, we found that it has to be done asynchronously, and the way that we did it in the beginning wasn't correct. So the next part, solve all the problems with the asynchronous JavaScript. It means that. And also, working with the relative and the absolute path in the application was also a big concept for us. And I think that we are still learning how to use it with the different, for example, package of Node.js. And well, I think that you can talk about the front end.
Yeah, the front end it's easy. It's a regular website, but we have an intranet. You need to be login. I want to show you. Okay. This is the main page, the initial. You can follow us. You can move in the website. You can contact with us. You can see the history of the group. And you can see the calendar with all the routes we are going to make. And if you want, you can contact and hey, I won't go with you. Then we have the intranet. You can sign up or logging directly. Here, for example. Yeah, that's mine. You can see the users, all the users in the database. You can see the calendar. This calendar, you can create new routes. When you create new route, you can automatically write in the wall one message. You can create new route. You can create new route. You can say, for example, Peñoviña. For example. When you are logging, the main bar changes and you can access all the sections inside the intranet. Yeah, that's the route, and you have the other wall for this route. You can post a message in this wall. And you can edit the route. Here, you can change all the parameters of the route and upload the tracker. Tracker is a GPS file for all the GPS. You can see with a topographic map. It's cool because if you want to make a route, you can see the difficulty of the route. You can change the... Yeah, you crush it. Shit happens. Well, this is other. You need save the file because if you don't save, or crash. We don't fix this. You can see all the routes. Well, all is crashing. Well, more. You can see the user's profile. Each user has a other wall, and you can change the photo. You can see all the stats and all the routes of this profile. For example, it's in Torreblanca. And why it's not working, I don't know. That's more or less all, but all route has an album, and you can add the photos or delete photos and share photos, and you can download the track. Okay. Maybe 1 week, it's a poor time for us. But in this morning, all of this work, I promise. Sergi?
Yeah, no, it was working, and last night we had problems with Heroku, and I don't know. We make some last-minute changes. Maybe it's because of that. But yeah, it's a nice feature. You can see the route, you can download the track. But I think it's nice. It's pretty good, and Hector can use it for his group. So well, I think it's nice. That's all.
I was freaking out about the concept of intranet because there many years ago I haven't heard it. I thought it was an actual intranet with your close network of computers, but actually it was a private page. Routes, paths from point A to point B, are one of the hardest objects to deal with, because that's not a single point in a map, but it's a line of points, a path of points. Well, usually you have points, and you assume that there is a line between the sequence of points. A friend of mine uses a lot this kind of one application that it looks like that. I don't know the name, but it's like a social network. Or yeah, that's that one. And we had a problem that people rate the routes as difficult or easy based on their own experience. But that's not my experience. So do you think, if it's possible, and if you think that it's possible, how would you do it, to determine the difficulty of the route based on the data that you have?
Yeah, that is a closed group, and each user has more or less the same level, and it's.
Don't avoid the question.
Yeah. We can implement the difficult values. I don't know. It's difficult because I don't know the parameter of the difficulty, because you can make a easy climb or a very hard way. It's very subjective.
You have the data from the altitude, so you know the slope. You know the slope.
Yeah.
Okay. You have APIs for the weather, and also weather and slope and distance. It may be enough information.
Yeah, but It's relative to the difficulty of the terrain more than all this data. For example, if it's all the terrain crashes, it's more difficult than it's more heaviest the way, but more clean. It's very inherent of it. Yeah, it's possible, but it's not too much feasible. So too much, I don't know.
So that's all. I would like to see how you implement search based on geodata, because searching the geodata with your files will be more difficult because you are not searching just points, but you are searching paths. It will be interesting to see how it will look like the query.
Okay, thank you.
No. Este. Yes. Okay, let's go. Hi. So we're Alex and Pierre. We've been working on a recruitment path. So it's a project for Danone. We'll get a bit more into details later. Can you get to the next slide? So we're going to start presenting us. So Alex is from Mexico. He's 32. He's very nice. Before coming to the bootcamp, he was a developer, photographer, and also a project manager. So a diverse career. As for me, I'm from France. I'm 30 years old, and I was previously a purchaser in France and China. So the project is basically a help for Danone to help them recruit people, choose the best candidates, and have a nice layout, modern, and get an efficient path to get the best profiles. We basically what's going on is that through a friend of ours, we got to know that Danone is here in Barcelona, is trying to improve their website and recruitment process. So they're going to launch something in a year or so. So basically they're wanting to get some MVPs, some quick sketches of what could be done and what would be the best way to improve. The technologies we used were basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We also used Bootstrap and Express.js, Node.js, and MongoDB for the database. The goal of the project, as I mentioned, was to improve a process that already exists and that is widely used. We wanted to keep it very simple, have a nice layout, and modern look to attract new recruits, younger profiles, and to improve their recruitment processes. So how does it work? We have basically 3 roles: an administrator, the human resources part, and the user itself. They're split into 3 models. So you have the user, the offer, and the job families. They're all presented into search filters, and you can access them through various ways. And you also have a CRUD that allows you to let's say, to work on your database, create a new user or HR, new offers, and delete them or edit them. On the candidate side, you can basically register, so it's a normal path. Register, create a profile, edit your profile, search a job through various filters as keywords, city or occupation, job families, and you can apply to offers. Once you apply to offers, the human resources can access the offer you've applied to. They can also create new offers. They can look for the candidate within and check for applications that have been posted. So I'll let you speak about the difficulties we met.
Okay, in this project, one of the main difficulties that we encountered was that to differentiate that we have one project and two different clients. One was Danone and another one's Ironhack. So it was kind of difficult to set the different scopes of the projects because for this we only have 1 week, and for the other we have more time, but the amount of requirements is quite big. So we had a really hard time like trying to separate both, and it was really, really difficult. Also, we have a difficulty of learning and working at the same time because, for example, we need to learn how to upload pictures and we didn't know it, so we have to work and sometimes start like taking tutorials and learning from internet. Also, we have a lot of difficulty importing the different nodes because we keep like installing and it crashed and installing another node and it crashed again, so it was kind of hard. And GitHub, we have never used that tool, and it was really, at the beginning to start working with, really, really difficult, but at the end, I think we managed to work together and good.
Yeah, I think especially working in a team, 2 people, and trying to merge.
Commit and merge.
Yeah, everybody has the same difficulties, I guess, trying to get to understand how it works.
And one also of the biggest difficulties was to setting the project for ourselves, because we only have like the big idea, but like defining roles, models, the screens is like kind of difficult. Like if you haven't done it by yourself, it's really, really hard. Hold on, right now we're gonna show you the website. Okay, this is the main entrance. First, you don't have to be logged to be able to navigate through the website. And if you go down, you can see like the different family job areas that Danone has. For example, go to information system and marketing. Over there, you can find, like, for example, one job position. You can read the description. You can apply or keep looking for the other areas. For example, there, you can go to security engineer, read the description, and decide that you want to apply. But when you click on apply, if you are not logged, it will ask you to register or log. So we already have some users, so he will log as a. Okay, this is Marina. She's a lady from Human Resources, so she has one more option. It's over there, that is Human Resources. Can you click over there? So over here, she can see like the different job positions. She can create new ones or delete the ones that she already created. Over there. And you can click one of the first position, for example. Oh, you delete one, but okay. Go again to Human Resources. And check here, job. Yeah, over there. There, well, we don't have many users, but we can see that Pierre Piot have applied for that position. Well, small bug. Log out, please. And then use your user. Here, the user that is already registered can see his profile. He can go to the, can you go to the job positions again? and he can navigate and find the different job positions and apply. Since he already is registered, the system didn't ask for another login. Well, if you go again to Marina, he can find like that Pierre has applied to the position, so she can see his profile. Well, that's like the main idea of the webpage. Questions? Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for the attention.
Nice 404.
Well, that's the same plan that I said previously. It's a two-sided platform, and instead that you said actually that is especially difficult when you have one project, but you actually have two clients. So the problem is to how at least you try in one project, don't mix the two flows of doing the things in the same screens or in the same actions. Not much to say. It was very consistent, the project. I mean, yeah, you have all the basic information. I will actually, but you disconnect the computer, don't worry. When you were applying and you were not logged, yeah, you are not logged, you can apply, and they ask you to sign up or log in. But you apply, then you log in, and once you're logged, it applies. So actually it works that if you apply and then you log in, you have applied, the platform requests you to log in. You log in and then the application happens. Yes. Okay.
We actually have in the database, but we cannot display it.
We prepare for something bigger, so the more we're creating, the objects have to be quite big, and we can realize it, we can finish it, wrap it up in 1 week, and make it work. So
we were making the preparations for the big project, but at the end we noticed that this project was just 1 week. So this week was like working and cutting things off again because the time was not enough, and that's why like it's not really.
So how was the big project?
The big project is like we have to make a proposal for Danone, and we need a really good prototype, like working. So it has more features, but we still need to go to interviews to get the different requisites. So we cannot apply to interview with the girl every time we want. So she was not available these days. So we have to figure out some stuff, and we are going to keep interviewing the girl to get more requisites and continue with the project. So it was just like a small preview of the big project.
Well done.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Philip Kickham, and this is my teammate Alex Ripoll, and we created started creating the web application You Can Eat With Us. Alex still has to finish his studies in engineering, and I come from a business background, and we both of us never really worked in coding or any coding-related field, except for he has some he has some knowledge in MATLAB, but I don't have any. So what are we seeing here? You can eat with us, meet local people and local cuisine. And the idea is that it connects locals and travelers to the love of food. So you have users that can log in and sign up. It's easier to do it like this. So here is hopefully our website. Okay, yeah. So this is what you see. Currently, I'm still logged in. I should log out right now. And if I create an account, basically, this is a login form. Just type in the username. For some reason, the password will show up, but maybe it's a dummy, and the password, unfortunately, doesn't really work. And we type an address somewhere here, create an account, and then we're logged in. And then we can search for location or the city we want to travel and see if any people are hosting events that we can be part of. The main idea is that if I want to travel to Barcelona, for example, for a weekend, and I want to meet local people and get a feeling for really local food, I search for Barcelona and for the time, or not necessarily the time, just in general, search for the location, and I can then see what people are hosting events, for example, in Barcelona right now. Oh, wait. It shows us it should show us the map. I don't know if it works properly. With the events we have created so far in the current city, and yeah, we can check out the events. For example, the dinner at my place, which will be tonight. But at this point, the map really doesn't work for some issues I don't really understand, and we still have some problems. Okay, let's get back to our presentation. That's basically what you have just seen, and of course user profiles and the basic crude of it. So the technologies, like most of us use the whole backend on the left side, and GitHub, Git, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Google Maps are the other stuff we used. And problems, well, we had very big problems with our models at the beginning and nesting them. For some reason, we made some mistakes there, which took us a lot of time. Then the Google Maps API made, as you just saw, still has some, or we still have some issues with it. And one of the biggest problems we had at the beginning, Alex was running a virtual machine on his Windows PC, which broke after 2 days, or which broke before, like on the day that we started the project. So we basically had 2 days working on one laptop, and then we were working on one Windows laptop and one Mac, and some Git commands didn't work, so it was always committing from one laptop, and exchanging code or merging stuff only via Slack is a bit weird because committing didn't really work. Yeah, mistakes we had, setting up models wrong from the beginning, and not really thought about the models from. We should have taken more time to think about the models at first and how they're related to each other, even though it's very simple models. But we had issues with it, or still have issues, and obviously not using Windows and Git in combination. So yeah, those are problems and mistakes. Working on finding solutions for that. Yes, that's already it. Thanks for listening.
I suppose that you like to eat. I suppose that you like to eat a lot.
Yeah. It's also for cooking. It's not just eating.
So sharing the experience of cooking something.
Yeah, it's basically it. So one person cooks or likes cooking and likes having the ideas. I like cooking and I like having people around. I like meeting new people. So I can say, okay, I'm hosting a dinner at my place next week on Friday, and I'm inviting 4 guests, and every person, the idea is to check their profile and especially their Instagram, but we couldn't implement it because it didn't work and due to time constraints. But that was the basic idea, to have a nice authentication through Facebook and or Instagram to check the profiles and to check the people you're having over, and then have a nice dinner for a couple of hours and whatever comes afterwards.
You say that it would be nice to have a Facebook login or something like that, but
your passport does that.
But I saw it in other projects.
Yeah.
Login with Facebook doesn't work that well. I mean, when you have login and you have login Facebook, it's about from 5 to 10 people that actually logins via Facebook. It's okay that you have many data about that login. You have data from the age range, the photo, there are many data that otherwise you wouldn't have. But the reason because you put the Facebook login is not because make more easy the life of the user, it's because of the data. Okay. So instead of just saying, I should do it, let's do it. First think ask to the customers if it makes sense. Because otherwise you will add all the logins of the social networks, but there are no pages that add all the logins of social networks, just 2 or 3 maybe, or there are many web pages that actually don't add any at all.
Yeah, the idea why we wanted to implement Facebook, and for example Facebook, is that if you host an event you want to know which people are coming over, so you have sort of verification for what the people are and to be able to look at their general information and look at their Facebook profile. That's the idea. It's not necessarily the login or the authentication itself, but for user experience.
But many applications like, for example, TripAdvisor or wherever that it's about eating or sharing experiences or the reviewing, none of them rely on social networks. They all host their own system to make this peer review because they want to own the data and they want to own the algorithm to decide how they should rank the users when they have to match them. So how would you think or design or develop this system to make easier to match the users in a let's have them at dinner?
With ratings probably. So every event and every user has reviews and ratings, and like the number of ratings and the score of it will then ensure whether the user is can be trusted or not. Basically, that's what I would say.
Yeah. That's the idea. Just for as an interesting point, Amazon, I think 6 months ago or so, invested like $30 million in suing people for fake reviewing in Amazon.com. So it's a way to solve the problem, but it also gives you more problems. So just as the feedback is always think a little beyond, because your solution it's not always a 100% solution. It's just a solution that yields you to another problem. And you hope that this problem is smaller than the previous one. That's the rationale that should happen in your head. The next problem is smaller than the one that I have right now or not. And if it's smaller, then that's the good solution.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Okay, hi. My name is Juan, and my mate here is Brian. I'm not coming from any of programming world. I'm an ex-cabin crew, I started engineering when I was very young, but not very long ago. And he was studying software engineering, started it. He's only 22, so he will finish it maybe or not. But he already goes, it's inside the area. We created a app called Catch Me, for now. Yeah. What is it? Is it a social meeting, dating app? It's not a dating app, but it's a meeting app. But it's very related, like what Tinder is, or what. You can use it as a dating app, actually, if you want, but it's not the purpose of it. For who? For a flight crew community. Flight crew community includes cabin crew and includes also pilots and anyone who is basically traveling the whole time and being at different cities, maybe 6 cities a month. What is it for? You can catch up with friends on layovers. What's a layover? Maybe it's a cabin crew thing. A layover is where you have a flight to London and you stay there 1 night or 2 nights. That's a layover. You lay over London. And then you come back to your city. As a cabin crew, you will have a roster, which is an itinerary, and you will have layovers in your roster. You will use this app to meet with friends, maybe who work in the same airline or other airlines. You will be able to meet new people. You will discover who is on the same layover at the same time as you. And you will also get recommendations and access to reviews of places visited by other users. This is different from Google Maps recommendations because they are recommendations from everyone. Here is recommendations from other crew, which have very specific interests. Sometimes they just go to a city to look for something specific, and it's very common that the crew looks for the same things. We've used all the technologies everyone used, and we structured our app in 3 models. Our models is users. Users will create layovers and will create reviews. Those are our 3 models. Every layover will have an airport code. Every airport code will have a city. 2 airport codes can share the same city. For example, London Gatwick and London Heathrow will share a city called London. That happens in many cities. And cities will have reviews assigned to them. So if you go to London, you will click on London and you will get a bunch of reviews from crew. Well, we can leave this for the last. You can connect to the app. Oh, wait a minute. There, I think it's the last. Wait. Go to Slack. No. Right, búscalo ahí, está por ahí. Está por ahí. Sí, ese. Okay, so we have the views of it is very simple. We focused a lot on the functioning and the design and all the UX and UI. It's very basic. So we have, it takes you, it's basically, it would be for a phone normally, not for, you wouldn't be using this app in your laptop. You will be using it in a small device, your iPad or your phone. So you will have a sign up window. You will have a login window. And we'll sign up with one of our users. Password 124. when you log in, you will be directed straight away to your roster. Your roster is a bunch of layovers that you have created. We will first create a new layover if we want. We will put an airport code, like Frankfurt, from the 1st of June to the 3rd of June, for example. It will also give you a time. The input we have here, you can input the time, is very small, but you can. Because it's important when you are, it's important because you will be able to see who is in the same layover at the same time. So even if they share only 2 hours, you will be able to see them. So you will create a layover and it will be there, okay? You can also edit a wish list here inside. Okay, I'm going to Frankfurt. I want to do something in Frankfurt. I want to go and visit the city center. So I will just type that there, and whoever will see my match, whoever will see this. You can go to, for example, I have all these layovers. I can go to matches in one layover, for example, Sydney. And in Sydney, the application tells me that my layover is Sydney, and I can catch up with Tian. Tian is another user we have. She is going to be in Sydney from the 11th of May till the 17th of May. This is the timing. And in her wish list, she has Bondi Beach. She wants to go to Bondi Beach, so she wants to find somebody to go to Bondi Beach with. If you want, you can enter Sydney there. And you can get some reviews from people. So somebody went to Bondi Beach before, and they said that it's a great beach to sunbathe and surf. You can also click open in Google Maps, and it will show you where Bondi Beach is. So you will be using Google Maps here. If you're on your phone, it will open straight away in the application of Google Maps. What else you can do? You can go and see her profile. You can go and see Tatiana's profile. She's from China. She speaks Chinese, Mandarin, everything. She works for Air China, and she's based in Beijing. All these codes, if you're a cabin crew, you will always know what the codes are. Some people told me about you have to be an expert to know the airport codes. Cabin crew, they know where they are going. It's not that they have a doubt, they are looking it up. If it's in their roster, they will know exactly which ones the codes are. Anyway, we have, it's not a model, but we download it in Node modules, the dependency called airport codes. There you will find all the airport codes in the world, and you will have a JSON with a lot of information. The city, that's why we can match. For example, if I'm going to, let's say, here we cannot, but yes, try this match. This is Tokyo, Narita. For example, it will show me that Maria is going to Tokyo, but it's going to Haneda. So it's going to another airport, but still in Tokyo. So I want to know who is going to Tokyo, not to Haneda or to Narita. What else? Okay, here we have a navbar with profile. We can edit the profile. We're not showing the username to the other people. We're just showing the contacts. So you can choose which contact to show, WhatsApp, email, whatever. And then you can upload a picture. And then you can save. And then you will have Pedro and all his information here. So that's it. That's our application. Room for improvement. There's a lot of. If you want to go back to the, to the presentation. So we can add a lot of things to this, of course, but it's a matter of time. So you can go to the next one. So we can, for example, turn reviewed places into a model. So we can actually, when I make if you make a review on a city, we didn't show that. If you do a review on a city, you will make a new review of the floating market in Bangkok, for example. You're not able to enter a review from another person and add something to that review. You will create a new review of that place. So you will have a lot of reviews about the floating market floating around there. And then we can also make them talk to each other in an internal messenger instead of getting the email and doing it outside. And yeah, that's it.
You have something to say?
He was the brain.
Yeah, no. Something. Hello. No, what? What do you mean?
Tell me something about the platform or
No, I don't know. He's playing everything. So.
play something else?
Tell us how we can add a review.
Okay. Okay, if we go to the city, yeah, we can add reviews. In the reviews, we have the category of the kind of the reviews, the name, evaluation between 1 to 5, and a text to describes more or less what we can find in this place. And we can add a link to the Google Maps to the people who wants to go. He can click it and he will redirect to the Google Maps page. Yeah, like this, yeah, if you will.
I was thinking, well, for example, by the way, congratulations for knowing the name of most airports. It's quite an awesome skill. But you can apply that not only for airplane stuff, but also for many other activities that you have to move from city to city. For example, there are consultants that have to move to one city, maybe 1 week, and then to another city for 3 days, maybe to another city. They're high-paid consultants, and they just have to solve big problems in short term. They will have more or less the same problem. Also, businessmen that they have to move from a conference to a wherever. So they are traveling most of the month, but when they travel, they have also another degree, because they are not only interested in do something in that place, but also in doing business. So it will be another nice way to extend your platform beyond the social network use case. On the other hand, that's one feature that is critical for your platform, because you are using this platform mostly outside of your country, so in mobile phone. So at least during the next 5 years here in Europe, is going to be quite expensive application in terms of data usage. So how would you address this problem? How would you reduce the consumption of data transfer of your application?
Data transfer. Okay, maybe we can maybe we can use another, like taking the information of don't save all the information, maybe on maybe like how to say it.
Hint. Do you think that it's possible to store some data in the phone instead of asking this data all the times to the backend?
So basically we can maybe we can yes, store information and make it work offline, some of the things. When you talked about making it for other, now it's a small community, so it's manageable, but then you can maybe be able to select the people like friends, and this information can be downloaded on the phone. If you want to find something about somebody who is out of your community, of your friends, of your favorites or something, you can maybe you will need to use data, but otherwise you can maybe have some information available offline.
Let's think if it makes sense for you. You want to have the real-time data, so you don't want to store data that is not updated. So that's a must. The data have to be updated. But you don't want to download the data once and again every time that is requested. If the data has not changed, you shouldn't need to download all the data. So why not store the data the first time, and the next time that is required, instead of asking for all the data, just sending a message of the date and the time that you downloaded the data, and check if it matches. If it's been updated and is more recent than the download date of your phone, then you have to download it again. Otherwise, you don't have to download it again. That will reduce the transfer depending on the amount of bytes that your database have. If your data is constantly changing, it is completely useless. But if your data is more or less static, for example, your name doesn't change every day. Your profile doesn't change every day. So it will be useful, for example, for the profile or for the reviews. But as the same as previously, it leads to another problem. Then you have to manage a system that is more complex, that is more complicated, so it could lead to other problems. So that's the trade-off of this, one of the interesting trade-offs of your platform.
Hello, my name is Isak Engdahl. I'm gonna talk about application I did called Xperify. Spend less, enjoy more. So, I'm from Sweden, 35 years. I have a master's degree in industrial engineering and management. I work as an IT product manager at a Swedish company in Sweden. I am on study leave now to learn some coding. I really enjoy it, and I really like Barcelona, so maybe moving here in future. So, what is Xperify? It is based on these three things, I think. Xperify connect the person who is offering a service. Maybe he is a tourist guide, He has a boat, he arranged fishing trips, diving courses, etc. Kiting surf courses. And we have the user who want to do that. When I travel, I always feel the need of a sort of application like this, because you end up a lot of hassling, contact people, trying to get hold of the people. You don't know if they are like good reviewed, because it's very difficult to find that information. You can sometimes see it on Google review, but many times they can be fake reviews, etc., because you don't pay anything to do the review. So avoid hassle. So you can book online on Xperify. You can read the reviews, previous customers for that person who is offering the service. So connect, book, and review. Yeah, so I already talked about that. Of course, it will be cheaper than other services as well, because you will go direct connect to the person who is offering the service. Because there's other companies, for example, Viator, owned by TripAdvisor, they fix contacts through tourist agencies. So of course, they adding on top of that. Here you get direct contact with the person who is offering the service. And also, yeah, avoid unwelcome surprises. You can read reviews, previous reviews by other users. So let's check out the demo. Okay. I'm gonna do this, I guess. Okay, so here's the site. You have the possibility to log in and sign up over there, on top or right. You can search by, of course, by destination. So let's do that. Let's search for Barcelona. Okay, it worked. Great. So here you have the reviews of experience that you could purchase. So do amazing cocktails, or why not do kayak fishing? Catch a big fish. So you can also, of course, here filter by, if you want to change destination. You will be able to filter by category after as well. So you see who's the host, the average review. You can read about the service or about the experience. See where it's located. You can, of course, then log in through Facebook or through, yeah. So here is my profile. Here you can add experiences, so you can sign up and purchase experiences, and also you can offer. So here's my experiences, this user, and here's your reviews. You can, let's say that you're gonna add something, and then you can upload a photo, see if you can find some. Yeah, we can. Golf Pro in London. It's cost 100 per person. It's 5 hours. Okay, so it's created. You can see it here. Here's the Golf Pro. What else? You can, of course, list them all here. You have also a chat function to communicate. I implemented it through Socket.io. So in this case, I'm the user Isaac, so I can, let's see if I can try to find Anders here. So I can click here. Hi. Let's and start chat. And then let's see if we can open up the other one. Where is it? Here? Okay. So I'll check. Here's now I'm going to log into Anders. Okay. So I check my inbox. Oh, I have a new message from Isaac. Okay. And then I maybe should check here then this one. So here we are both online. And then you can do with real time. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Which are the challenges that you overcome during the development of this product?
For sure, the chat application. It took more than 2 days to get this running, and integrated with the Mongoose, of course. You save all the logs if you run the. Yeah, so it's taken from API on the server. Yeah, that was the most difficult part, I think.
Why the chat was difficult in comparison with the other tasks that you did?
Because other tasks we have already talked about at the lessons, so you could find easy the information on the learning units. But on the chat we didn't go through, and there is still a couple of bugs, because if you log in with your mobile, you can join this conversation. So it's it's not private rooms yet, but there will be there.
So it's difficult because that's the different model. That's the different kind of data. In the other tasks, that's data that you're moving up and down, but that's a streaming data. And since the computing world was not made on streaming data, but on reading and writing, it's harder because we don't have the training and we don't have the mind set first on streaming, but first set on just reading and writing. That's why it's difficult because of the tools, because of what we know, and because of the environment of knowledge that we have about the streaming data. But as you know, we should enforce us to learn more about the streaming data, because everything is going real time now. Everything that makes sense, because there are things that doesn't make sense to have real time. So that's really interesting to have features like that in your products, because that's products for you to learn about. So it's really important to learn about that kind of data models.
Thank you.
I made it last time, it was that simple.
Okay, hi everybody. Well, we are gonna present you Bootcamp. But first of all, our team is composed by Imre, who has a background in literature and languages, and myself, Edward, who has I have a background in communication and advertising. Well, the idea of the project was to have an application, web application, where people could upload files, books, and be able to share it with people. So I have a book, I have a lot of books at home, and I don't want it to be there, so I want to share it and share experiences as well with other people who is interested in the same books as me. And to talk about technologies, there's Imre.
Hello. Well, pretty much the same stuff that the others have used: Node.js, Express.js, and Mongo database, Mongoose, and all that jazz. Yeah. And okay, all right. So this is. Yeah, but should we start with the login or sign up or something like that? Maybe. Yeah, so we have this login page. And sign up as well. Okay, it seems to me that my profile needs a picture, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, the pictures are removed because Heroku did, so it weren't there.
All right, but maybe we can go to the edit profile and see how it looks like. Maybe we managed to upload an image this time. Right, okay, so now I have a profile picture. Right now we are in the My Books view. There are the books that I have added, and I can also add another new book. Title of the book, author, and a picture. All right, so now there are 3 books that I have. If we go to available books, you can see all the books that are owned by someone else and that are free for the moment. If I want to contact the person who owns the book and ask him or her whether I could borrow it, I just send a message to that person. All right, I can check in my sent messages that the message was sent indeed. Yeah, it's there, good. I can also delete it if I want. And yeah, back to home. What else can I do? At all books. Yeah, I can also share. I can also share books, or like here, I just choose Edward to share the book with. And I can also delete books if I want. In the all books view, if I go to all books, or this one as well, good. But if I go to all books, then I can see all the books that are there, my books, and the ones that were added by someone else. And there is the inbox, which is, I don't know, probably empty right now, because I haven't received any email from or message. And there was the send messages that we already showed, and that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, thank you very much. Any questions?
No, not the source code, no, inspect mode.
Okay.
That's it, stop. Delete. A link.
Yep.
Someone knows if it's something wrong with that? So if I click that link, I delete the product. Yeah? Okay. Delete is an action. Yeah, but you could do it anyway.
The route should be the slash delete, and also I put in like click delete, you get up a pop-up. Do you really want to delete?
It's purely technical. It's not about usability, it's technical. If I click there, there is an HTTP GET request to the backend. And I am modifying data having a GET request. And that's not why GET requests are for. POST requests are for modifying data. That's why you have a form HTML element. So, and that is there is a good reason for that. You could simply replace that with form action method post and then change the backend and add the input type button, and it's how it should be done. Why? On one hand, you know what's a web bot, a scraper. That's a computer program that looks for many pages and follows the links. The links. If you have one link that modifies data, that bot is going to modify your data. That's one big problem. There are many bots online, there are many bots out there, so bots don't follow forms. Not because they don't know how to follow forms, they know how to do it, but that's when a bot follows a form, that's a bad bot. So you don't want that good bots ends up modifying your data. That's why we should always, when you are modifying data in HTML, use a form instead of a simple link. That's really, really important. And use post instead of get.
One question. If you still use a GET request, but you have in the route, you have like authentication checks, is that stopping it?
Depends on the bot. There are bots that can log in your platform.
But if they don't have authorization, like that user, then they should not be able to log in.
Yeah, it depends on if the data is within a login, in a login area, or outside of the login area. Usually, since all the data that we are writing in the database has to be attached to some user, all these logins, all this data is attached to a user that has been required to log in. But anyway, a bot can log in your application because they can sign up perfectly. So it's not about defend against the bots, it's just let the bots do their work, but follow the best practices that say you shouldn't modify data with a GET request in a link.
Yeah. Thanks for the advice.
Well, thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you to Guillermo for well, all the advice that and all the feedback that they give you. And also I want to say, well, you make a great effort during this week. Well, you work so hard, and I think that you deserve a couple of beers, no? I think. Okay, so let's grab some beers, no? And you can talk also with Guillermo if you want, if you're going to stay, no, a little bit. Not? You're going to stay a little bit? Okay, perfect.